All right, sweet. Hold on, let me do the audio sync. 1, 2, 3.
Jonathan!
Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of the RoundHaus Podcast. It's literally been about a month. Sorry, we've been away. We're just gone. Anyways, but now we're back, and we actually have a full house again. Here we got almost the whole crew. I'm going to let them all introduce themselves, but I'm here, one of your hosts, Christian, followed by...
Jonathan.
And...
Chito in the house.
Ooh. And followed by...
We got Pressy here.
Oh snap! We are, as you can tell, missing that faithful, that cool guy. We don't know who he is anymore.
Luis Godinez.
Oh, there he is. That's that name. But
Address is...
he will be missed. But today, actually, we're gonna hand over the steering wheel or the reins to Chito today. Chito has a couple of topics today that we're actually gonna let him discuss with us and go from there. So there you go, Chito.
All right, thanks, man. So I just got some topics I feel like are floating around, at least the country. I don't know about anywhere else outside the U.S., but so one of them being Roe versus Wade being overturned. I thought that was like super interesting. The moment I heard it, I was like,
yeah.
Damn, I remember reading about Roe versus Wade when I was a kid and what it meant for women's rights and like the 14th Amendment at that point. And the 14th Amendment is like the right to privacy or some shit. Mm-hmm. Something like that. It goes further than that, but I don't know it, and I really don't care to know it.
I was going to say,
that deeply.
I'm ignorant on a lot of the laws as well, so you would have to tell me anything like that. I didn't even know Roe versus Wade was a thing before.
Really?
It's because you're a man.
Yeah.
Real man.
Because I'm a real man, and real men don't worry about that, I guess. No, but I mean,
it's just not in your. It's not in your spectrum, dude.
It was like it's like when you grow up. There's a lot of things maybe you aren't aware of, but then when you grow up, you will learn, and that was one of them. So Roe versus Wade thing, I had no idea.
Yeah. So like I said, I heard it, and I have a woman, so like I right away like looked at her like, did you hear about this? She was like, oh, I heard.
I was going to say, oh, I bet she heard.
Well, she spends more time on social media than I do, so she probably heard about it way before I did.
I reckon.
Her woman spider senses were taken. I feel like my rights have been taken away.
She's like, trigger! I'm triggered!
Trigger!
Yeah, dude.
But I guess that's a good one to wonder if we know any females in our lives, you know, if you're with a partner or not, that kind of like how did they take it when that day happened? Like kind of how I wasn't around anybody. But.
You know, it's such an interesting topic too, because I feel like a lot of the information that's being passed down through various avenues, mm-hmm. It's predominantly more, you know, one cause, or at least one thing that the message is this, as opposed to the broader spectrum of what it actually is, you know. So like, right, what does this mean, right? But what is the actual fallout of this, you know? Of course, women, you know. Mm-hmm. I have my wife, and, you know, I was the same thing, you know. She has her feelings about it too, and, you know, it's something that I never really I thought about it, because I like to be a little bit, I like to know things as far as like when it comes to the political view. Yeah. But when it comes to like how it actually touches people's lives, you know, it's more about asking, because otherwise you're never gonna know. And when she was telling me, you know, I was like, I guess I never really expected it to hit so close to home like that, you know. I have no opinion on it, to be honest with you. You know, like, I don't think it's right. I don't think it's good.
What's not good?
Well, the decision that was made, you know, to overturn it. But I also don't feel like that's anyone's business to say anything about a woman's body. You know, even that's how I feel about my body. You know, don't tell me that I can or cannot do that. Yeah. And that's the vibe that's being picked up around the world, around the country, because not a lot of people think about it too, but this, you know, abortion, it's a lot of it going on around the world, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know like any records or whatever.
Yeah,
Right.
Like, you know, I was
how high-
statistics of how many abortions are going on every
actually
day
happen,
in the
yeah.
U.S. But just like you said, it kind of like it always just flew over my head because it was always a
Nothing
thing.
you
You
had to
know?
worry about. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing I had to worry about. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I mean, and like, you know, one of the main concerns, and I understand, is that like, you know, people view it as, again, you know, it's this one message that everyone clings to of it about being abortion. Of course, yes, but again, how does it affect the others? Well, you know, there are people out there who go and try to have procedures done, but because, you know, I'm just using an example, and I don't know anyone in particular, but let's just say, like, you know, someone is pregnant, you know, and they need something done for their health, but because of this now, maybe they can't anymore, you know, a life-saving procedure or something,
Yeah.
you know, and that's not to, and that's not to take away, like I mean, being a dad now, like, it's hard not to see both sides as far as like, I'm not gonna say the right or wrong, but just listening to both sides.
Pro-life, pro-choice.
You know, I look at my son, and I'm just like, there's no way I can ever imagine my life without him. You know.
Yeah, of course.
So it's really hard. You know, it's with this decision.
There's pros and cons to both.
Yeah.
With this decision, there are no winners. I feel. You know.
Well, I do feel you're right on that one. I do feel like there's definitely no winners, but kind of there also kind of is, and kind of a loser, because it seems like, at least on social media, the biggest losers are women. On that one, just because they lost
Always
their...
have been.
Unfortunately, yeah, it seems to be the theme for a lot of history, which is not the proudest moment. But yeah, as far as like if we had to kind of pick a loser right now, I do think that for me, I do think women have taken the L here, only because in certain areas, their rights are just flat out gone. So now they're gonna have to go through sketchy methods. That you're right. If say medically. Yes, you're pregnant and you're going to be able to deliver this baby, but it turns out there's a complication, and it actually might kill you if we get this baby. And that's happened. I've actually seen a lot of people come forward on social media saying like, "Oh, I had an issue with my pregnancy, and it actually it was life threatening, and so if I didn't actually have this abortion, I'd be dead because it was gonna it affected my actual life. So obviously I had a chance to try again, but thank God apparently for the abortion. According to that lady, and I never thought of that. I was like, oh, that does make sense, because sometimes I have heard of stories where like pregnancies ended up where the mom died but the child lived, and stuff like that. I'm not saying in that scenario where you should kill the kid and all that stuff, but like it doesn't make it as like white and black and simple, like, oh, that's it. Like there are really these scenarios I never would have thought of, that there actually be a good reason to have an abortion, like to save someone's life by doing that. I didn't realize that either. So it paints, makes it more 3D as far as an issue than I had initially realized. Again, it wasn't my concern for the longest until this whole thing.
It becomes an issue because there's emotions involved.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So,
children.
So talking about overturning the Roe versus Wade, so pretty much how it happened was there was a woman, what the hell's her name? Something McCurdy, something like that. Anyways, she, so back then when she went to get an abortion, it was still legal, and this was in the state of Texas. I forgot what city. It was still legal. It was like 1969.
1 second. Around when? What time period?
1969.
Oh, that was just
I was like,
I was trying to chime in, and I was concentrating on when I should like.
Okay,
Well, you chimed in why?
so in 1969, this woman needed an abortion. She was single, jobless, and not living very well.
She wasn't ready.
She wasn't ready for the child.
Yeah.
So being pregnant was the last thing she wanted. So she went to the doctor, and they pretty much were like, we can only do it if it's a life-saving procedure, and that's not the case here. You just don't want the child. So, and she had already 2 kids before already.
Oh, okay.
So her life was not the best in the best situation for. But anyways, the doctor kind of turned him away, and she decided to take it to court because of the law.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a life-saving procedure, so she got offended, or it didn't work out for her.
Yeah.
How she wanted it. So she went to the fucking court pretty much and filed this case. And the Supreme Court was like, yeah, let's hear it. Let's see what's going on. And so Roe is this woman, right? In this case, and then the person who made that law, his name was Henry Wade. So that's why it's Roe versus Wade.
Oh man.
A real man, a man of the time. and so the court heard this case, and they were like, you know what? You're right. You should be able to have an abortion just because. And just like that, 7-2, it was overturned. Just like that. It's like almost the same day. But then they divided it because women have trimesters in their pregnancy.
Okay.
So each trimester has its own little rule, its own little law.
Yeah.
So in the first trimester, like in the beginning stages of the pregnancy, it was up to the mother and the doctor to decide whether they want to go through with the abortion or not. Whatever the reason may be, it's up to the mom. Second trimester, and the government can be like, well, let's see what's going on here. Why do you want an abortion?
Okay, because.
And then a third trimester, the government can literally say, no, the baby's almost due.
Now it's murder.
There's no health complications. You need to have this child.
Got it.
And that was in Texas. That was in Texas.
That's actually more than I expected Texas to be willing to do, honestly.
Well, do you want to hear something? If you haven't already heard it, when the baby's born, you sign a birth certificate. And what that birth certificate really is, you're basically telling the government, you're validating the kid pretty much in a way belonging to the government. Because that's why child service can come and pick that kid up.
Oh.
I never thought about that.
Nope,
Yeah. So there's a lot of it that's really, it's not really surfacing at all until you start to dig down. That's part of it.
Is it kind of like like when Apple has you sign all this stuff and people don't
To
sign
be a
it?
U.S. citizen.
You just sign it.
Yeah.
If anything, that's exactly it.
The terms of
Everyone
service.
signs that whenever they have a kid.
Oh.
You're not gonna not sign your birth certificate, but he's just saying that by signing that, it means that they can literally.
You want him to be a U.S. citizen, right?
Yeah.
Want him to have all the benefits, right?
But that's good too, though, because there's some piece of shits.
Well, yeah.
parents.
It's just it's more upsetting when you hear the actual all the terms and agreements, and people immediately start to think, ugh. But I mean, sometimes it's like, well, you've been already signing it for years, and you've been fine before. Yeah, but now I'm actually hearing the terms and agreement. Somebody's reading what I'm actually signing, and now I feel icky about it.
Here's a little story, and it's just the metaphor is that my story is that, it was my birthday one day, and Nicole took me to go skydiving, right? And it was my second time already, right? But I went with a group of people that hadn't gone yet. So I already knew that they give you a waiver to sign, if things were to happen.
Yeah.
My first experience with that was scary, just like being a parent, right?
Mm-hmm.
You like you say, you see it for the first time. But when I did it the second time, I was the fastest one to sign it. I knew where to sign, and I saw everyone else was very hesitant to it. What I'm trying to say is that it feels like with that, and we can talk back to Roe v. Wade, but just want to get my point across is that after you're doing it already, it's like ripping a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, when it comes to that. Because I just wanted to skydive, right?
Yeah. You take the risk after you did it the second time. When you ride a motorcycle, you're more comfortable the second time than you are the first time.
Yeah.
But you should have seen these people. They were really thinking. They were reading everything. And it's just that's how we were. That's how I was when I signed the birth certificate. I was like, oh crap.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I never thought about that because I'm not a parent. So
You're a daddy.
Thank you.
Another thing I would add on to this is that when they got overturned, bunch of fallout from social media, and if we know already, social media is a great place for misinformation and disinformation. What I mean by that is that it's not so much that you're being told lies as much as the truth isn't being told or
big
people
picture.
people are not being informed. So what you saw a lot was that people would gather, and not to say it's wrong. You know, everyone has the right to their own opinion. But the message again was that, you know, this means the end for women. Women are dead. You know, women are second class citizens, and I'm not arguing against any of that. But a lot of what entails with the overturn is that, again, it brought it back to the states to vote. You know, on.
Yeah. So each state has its own also
So
their own rules about abortion. So if it is a life-saving procedure, yes, you can get an abortion.
Yeah, because like from what I understand, like overturning the Roe v. Wade, they're not saying that abortion is banned.
Exactly.
It's not. It's just it comes down to every state.
Now it'll be reviewed pretty much.
And that's
So
something that
that's where like people have to like really go into and start voting, because like if they don't want a certain person that has those views, they gotta vote them out of there. So if they want abortion in their state, then they have to vote. Because a lot of people, from what I was told, like a lot of people don't vote. They only vote for the president. You know, but there's like a crap load of voting that needs to get done for smaller things, and like this, for instance. So if people want their state to allow abortion, then they need to go out there and vote and kick those guys out that are saying no, that are voting for them. Because like, no, you're not speaking for me. Then, like, I'm gonna vote for a guy that actually speaks for me. So it's not that it's banned, but people are saying like, yeah, women, they're banning abortions, and that's not the case. It's just that you have to get in there and vote, so that you're able to. Even though I think it's dumb that, like, again, like, who are you to tell me if I want to?
Yeah.
Like if they start banning. Yeah. Like if they start banning like 108-ounce soda. Like if I want to drink that bitch, like who are you to tell me?
if you want to drink poison, who are you to tell me not to?
They're not to. Yeah. You know, like is it it's a smart choice? No, but it's like yeah. So that's why like voting is important.
Yeah.
And when it comes to those cases, and people, I guess they don't read the fine lines like we were talking about earlier.
Dude, I don't vote, man. I don't vote for a goddamn.
That's the thing.
Because it doesn't. None of it interests me. But, you know, now that I'm a lot older now, because when I was younger, I was like, fuck voting, I'll never vote, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, I just never cared for it. But now that I'm older, now that I'm a lot older, like, I'm starting to see why these things...
At least be informed of what the decision
is.
You know,
being informed is probably the thing I've improved on the most growing older. It's like, you know what, let me know what's going on in my economy. Let me know how can I...
It'll help you definitely prepare for the future, the short-term future. Because, you know, right now...
Being informed now
how are we right
key,
now?
man. And if you can pass on
There's a lot of people who are dumb,
younger people, like, be beneficial for everybody.
Absolutely. It's also hard with social media too, because they always say, "Oh, I want to stay informed. That's why I have a Facebook." But then, or like I watch Fox News, or I watch like this. They're not wrong in that they can get information there. It's just sometimes depending on how you go, where you get your information, there is a narrative, and it's not the full picture all the time. Like sometimes they want to tell this story in this way to make this guy look like a bad guy, but. It's not to say he's not, but you should form your own opinion on whether or not you think this person he or she is by knowing the full picture.
That's exactly it.
Read the whole story and then make your own opinion. But if you're being told, like if I'm telling you, fuck Jonathan, like that dude can't fucking parallel park for shit. I have seen him murder 12 squirrels on the way here. Don't vote for him for, I don't know.
Don't vote for him and his juicy
for
ass.
Mr. Milwaukee.
The next Wolverine.
But then somebody's like, he's the sweetest guy. He crossed all. He takes care of all these turtles.
But I feel like people are stupid to me.
To you though.
They are. Like I see what they say and do, and I'm just like, damn, you're freaking stupid. And then there's people that take advantage. So I feel like
it's the world.
Like abortion was a good thing. And then people start taking advantage, you know, because you get these
I do see an issue of using abortion as like a means of birth control. Pregnant again?
That's another reason why too. You know.
I could see
that's wrong.
Yeah, I can see that being abused. Like instead of being responsible, I'm just gonna keep abusing this sort of. Or it's not even abusing. I don't know if it's abuse. It's just like you're
misuse.
I guess there you go. You're misusing a resource that has a real genuine purpose behind it, not just well, I feel like partying at this frat boy's house and whatever. I didn't have a condom, so.
And one of the scariest things, at least it is to me, at least the most upsetting, is that like on social media, of course, social media is. I really wish people like would just like understand the dangers of it too and the power of it, like decipher the different. But people like to share their information. I've seen a lot of video posts of people, just saying that they're gonna intentionally get pregnated just before the
Oh,
baby.
you fucking idiot.
Sorry, they're gonna get.
That's so stupid. Because it's like,
I'm sorry.
oh, so you're going to do that to prove a point, but you're not thinking, see, this is what I'm talking about, people are being stupid. Like, if they did do that, like, you're not thinking about, like, the repercussions. That's a life,
So,
And that's expensive. And if you don't take care of them, then they can go into the system. You know how fucked up the system is? You know how those children are broken. And you're going to, because you want to prove a point, you're going to have a child. See, this is what I'm talking about, how stupid people are.
Yeah. Go on, Bressy.
I feel you, man.
well, I lost my train of thought.
They're rebelling, essentially, is what you mean.
Well, then you see pictures of protests, Okay, so Florida was a big advocate of it. So Florida, of course, if you don't already know, it's a red state, has been for at least the last couple years now.
Meaning what?
Meaning mainly predominantly Republican. It's still somewhat of a balance in each state, but the demographic voted mainly Republican. So they have more conservative values, more constitutional values, stuff like that.
Okay.
But so for that one, so Roe v. Wade, obviously, they say in the law, and I could be wrong, but you can have an abortion up to 15 weeks after conception. I want to say.
I think so. Yeah.
So there is still time at some point, and then that's it. That's the cutoff. That's another piece of information that isn't really told, or because people are just assume it's done, it's over. You got to go to this day. You got to go through. Basically,
some water.
The Underground Railroad.
Yeah.
Not to compare the two.
Let me see. I'm dying over here.
Good.
Don't say that, bitch.
I'm gonna.
That's just another thing.
Yeah,
it's something's crazy.
Basically what it sounds like is lack of information is turning out to be more harmful than it seems, which is again that's a fact of life anyway. Like if you don't know you shouldn't cross the street when it's red, you're gonna fucking get hit. Like I said, so lack of information in any aspect of your life is usually more damaging than beneficial, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I can think of a scenario where knowing more information might actually not be beneficial. I don't know. Say you're a baby. So I don't know. This is a more fucked up funny. Maybe find out maybe your dad's not your dad. That's information you don't need to know. Like that would probably be more like, ow, that sucks. But like I think of, but yeah, mostly in not having information in any aspect, whether it's politics, your state, because at 15 weeks you can have still an abortion. People are booking trips to another state right away, thinking that they didn't have to. Now they spent hundreds of dollars or more and all this other extra shit. When you're right, if they were informed, they wouldn't even have to go through all that. And I have made many mistakes like that where I did this, and then I was told by a sibling "Oh, you didn't need to do that. Yeah, you just take this form right there. You could have are you? Oh well.
Say what?
See, but I think you're right on. I think that's where people have to learn. Whether it's, I think that's the lesson life always gives us is that you really learn when you realize that you missed on something you could have done. Just
another thing, obviously, and people, I'm sure they know, but they don't really think about it. Like California, that's a blue state, right? Do you think ever California is ever gonna not do that?
Be blue?
No, overturn abortion in that state.
They
probably would never
heavy
ever.
sex guys, I think. Especially the porn industry alone.
Well, what I'm trying to say is that so that's a state that people know for sure will never do that, and it's just again, it's just knowing where into and what's there in that,
It's not a conservative state.
Yeah, so people are literally booking flights.
Wisconsin is.
Yeah.
California's fucked.
I feel like there's gonna be a lot of illegal abortions.
Oh, there is.
Yeah, that's gonna create all this black market. People are gonna start dying.
That's kind of happened with that Roe.
That's people have been
it's like the government doesn't learn.
Yeah, the original case that I was talking about, she tried to get an abortion illegally and she failed for some reason. The doctors were just like, no, we're not gonna do it. And then
now they'll lose their license.
Exactly.
So
that's why she pulled up the case. because she couldn't get an abortion. But so the Supreme Court now, I guess, I forgot which representative said it, but he did say like the reason we overturned it is because of the reason why it was implemented in the beginning. Like it was wrong. So they're saying that the original reason why they said abortions at free will is because of that one woman, pretty much. She just wanted an abortion because her life was not in the best state to have another child. So the Supreme Court now was like, that was a stupid reason to do it, to overturn, to make it a law. So that's why we have to review, or overturn Roe versus Wade.
I kind of don't like that.
Yeah, exactly. So the reasoning sounds kind of dumb.
It makes me feel icky because it's like, hey, I don't like how that was handled back when I was a kid. So because I'm in a position of power now, I'm gonna go back and change it. Yeah. It's to me, I feel like it should have been, and I'm very ignorant in politics, so I might sound stupid, but you know how if you go like a court case, you're sued for something, or no, what is it, OJ? You can't be charged again for that same murder, or for that murder. Okay. It's kind of like I thought that would be kind of that sort of where we already settled that. That's been settled. Yeah.
Well, it is a new case.
As I said, they brought a new case to bring it back. So I guess,
it's like Dobbs versus.
That's kind of where I was maybe hoping that something like that shouldn't have been touched. But I mean, I don't know.
But like it's the double jeopardy clause.
Oh. Well,
right.
I know nothing of politics, but that's what I was hoping that would be something like that, because it sounds like they can now pinpoint other points in history where laws that are kind of good for humans, for like at least as far as choice, but now they can start pinpoint other laws back in the day. Oh, I don't like that they let picked something else fucked up. I don't know. I don't like that they let minorities have a full vote again. Let's change that again.
What?
Yeah, let's change that. Let's give them 75% of the vote.
That's too much. That's too much.
I definitely think that wouldn't work given we outnumber them. But still, but I mean, like, what's to stop them from kind of going back and finding more shit now? At this point,
my worry too now is like, once they do this, and this is like a pretty big subject, like what else can be done next? Like what else? Like I know they're like they like to use the word assault weapons. Anything can be assault. But guns too. Like they
guns will always be in the crosshair.
Like I just saw yesterday that I watched a video of this guy. He was talking about, I guess, something passed, and now it's gonna go to the next level where it becomes like a bill or something. I'm not exactly sure. Mm-hmm. But they're gonna ban like what they deem is an assault weapon. Okay. And so anything semi-automatic, which would include like pistols, which is considered an assault weapon. It's kind of weird to me. But they're like really pushing that like that narrative that they want to get rid of guns. That's nice. And there's people that are like pro-gun. Like, I get it, that's fine. But there's a lot of people like, if you look at like fucking Australia, like they're fucked over there. You know.
Canada too, dude.
Oh, hell
Canada just gave up their rights.
Yeah. What do you mean?
To bear arms?
Well, he can explain about Australia.
So like Australia, they like guns are illegal. You can't have guns. I think you can have like
that's only recently.
I think you can have like a hunting rifle, but you have to have like a permit. And again, I'm like I don't know a lot of it, but from what I've just heard. But yeah, so Australia, they don't have any guns, and so like the government can be like, all right, like COVID, everybody get in your fucking house and stay in there, and a lot of them were protesting and they couldn't do anything, and the government's not scared because they're the ones that have the guns, And same thing with like Canada too. They were like, all right, guns are banned, and then but he's like, oh, but not all guns, like hunting guns again, like you can have those, but I think you have to like jump through hoops to get them.
Yeah. I get why. I really do get why. And honestly, it sums it up to like school logic. This guy ruined it for the rest of them. Like so many people abused the guns in the wrong way that it ruined it for people who generally have a good purpose of it. Like it was just a tool. It is not good or bad. It is a tool.
Yeah.
A chair is not a tool of good or evil, anything. It is just a chair. But if
Yeah.
you use it to whack a priest over the head and murder people en masse, obviously, yeah, you
Even though he might deserve it.
sure. But like I said, like, it's not by default that. Neither
Yeah.
is a gun. Like a gun was, yes, it was
Yeah.
designed to. It can absolutely do it. A spoon can murder somebody. So can a
Mhm.
fork. Like, that's what kind of.
If you're a
upsets-
boxer, you have to register your hands as a weapon.
Yes, and Regi
Some
is
of those are,
charmed.
so.
So, but that's why I was like,
Regi's not charming.
You're right. He's just got that jawline. But.
I'm very punchable.
yeah.
But yeah, so that's like my thing.
Hot
I
round
worry
kisses.
about like what's next now. You know, because this is a
Yeah.
big thing. So
I'm
what's
curious-
next?
I'm more curious about what happens next for Canada and Australia now that I know that, because New Zealand, we'll go back to the runway, we're just wondering, because New Zealand has like a low crime rate, and they've been having a ban on guns for like a hot minute, way before. So technically, if the best outcome we got from this is that crime is down, and it's just overall peaceful, that sounds great.
I think we should be able to
But-
shoot criminals.
But
There was one.
But-
New Zealand, though,
that's an optimistic view. That's an ideal, like, oh, let's hope at the end of this movie it'll be like, oh, happily ever after. Yeah,
Yeah.
not realistic. But if it ends up being that, they put restrictions and now the citizens can't defend themselves, okay,
Yeah.
that's an absolutely equal point.
Alright, okay. Two things then, like, so, say weapons are banned, right? And again, we'll go back to Roe v. Wade, but real quick, think about it. There's still going to be crime. People are still going to be killing each other. What are you going to see more? You're going to see more blood on the
You
streets.
see stabs.
You're going to see all that carnage, even more. And now, think about Ukraine. Not to talk about the war, but what happened with them when the war kicked off? They didn't have any guns.
No, they didn't.
They were left with their pants down, and it took the government to give them guns to defend. So it's a double-edged sword, to be honest with you, because with guns, bad guys are always going to have guns. It doesn't matter if you ban it.
I saw a video of this person. They were asking like, so what do you think about guns in the U.S.? And they're like, no, they're bad. And they're like, what about the excuse that they're used to defend themselves? Like, no, guns should be like banned or whatever. And they're like, okay, well, what about Ukraine? Like, the government gave them guns to protect themselves. Like, yeah, go Ukraine, give them all the guns they need. The same person said that.
Imagine if they had them right away. You think the U.S. is going to, like, imagine someone to, like, not to say it'll happen, hopefully it doesn't, but invade. We all have fucking guns, It's a lot harder to take down the U.S. Way harder. We're probably the most difficult one in that aspect.
Yeah, I mean,
Not to say that we're
they probably
invincible,
assume we already
but
have
it
something.
just puts things again into a little bit more perspective of thinking. Whether it's right or wrong, that's your opinion.
I think it's just too muddy. I think everything's too muddy. There's no easy fix for anything at this point. There's nothing can.
Yeah.
No, if you try to fix here, you broke there. But if you try to fix there, turns out you broke something else that was like 3 things underneath there.
I feel like if there were less no gun zones, because like the bad guy is not gonna care. Like there's no gun zone. They're gonna be like, okay. That means there's no guns in here. That means there's easy pickings, which is why they go to they shoot up little kids' schools.
Yeah.
Because they're all defenseless there.
You're right, man. But this is just the beginning of, of what's to come. And who knows what's to come?
There was a shooting.
It's stripping rights for women. You know damn well women are gonna come back and say, well, men shouldn't be able to do this, whatever it may be. I don't know, but they're gonna come back hard, and
They should.
yeah, they have every right to. Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
I
I know my woman was
Yeah.
personally like, it's fucked up. They should never have done that.
You know what we should do? We should have unprotected sex right now.
That'll teach
I
him.
was like, that'll teach him.
Oh,
Take
no.
me right now, Daddy.
I don't agree that anyone should come back to have revenge to be. It's fucked up, but like, where does it end? Where does it all end?
No,
If anything,
it ends when we end. There you go. That's when it ends. It ends when we end.
You see the way the culture is heading, and it's just like it's more revenge here and every left and right. And it's just like, holy shit, man! Like, what are we becoming?
Thanos was right.
that's a meme that rings so true sometimes. You
Dude,
know,
it's so fucking stupid, but I hate it. That's funny.
I would have snapped twice. Bitch.
Stupid. Make sure everyone dies.
And I'm like, keep talking.
Yeah. So yeah, that and I guess we can squeeze in a little topic. The new telescope. I forget what it's called. Every
Great
time.
topic.
Tell me about it. I know nothing of this.
dude,
I
love
know.
it. Astronomy's the best.
I know. Pressy will love it for sure. The James Webb Space Telescope.
Okay.
So it's able to see pretty fucking far.
What did it discover?
More.
I hope it would.
More gases and
More
more
spaces.
stars. No spaceships. No aliens chilling on any beach. No water.
See, that
More
scares me,
gases.
You know, I don't know if it was how long has that telescope been online? Do you know?
For like a month, 2 months.
Okay, it's very recently. That sounds amazing, to be honest with you, because the more we know, the better. It's not only to
Yeah.
find life; it's to
This time they
see what's
saw
coming
different
towards us.
colored gases.
Let me ask you guys this. What if again, I feel like this is almost impossible, but what if we really did find out there was no other like life forms like us out
There
there?
isn't.
Whoa, you're talking about flat earther stuff, man.
No, just like
No.
Just kidding.
I don't know, but I'm not, like, because he said he got a new telescope, but he didn't find any like signs of like oh hey this is John from Planet
Yeah.
Mars or something like nothing of that. Just objects, space, sciencey stuff. So
More.
we still haven't seen
You just
like,
saw more of it.
yeah, a beam of it.
Closer.
What if there is literally nothing else out there? Like as far as living, everything out there is just
There's nothing else like us.
So
yeah.
it's
like, that's
it's
kind of depressing to me personally.
I think that's awesome.
well, I think
Is it?
I think
Yeah.
they can lighten things up.
I don't
So
gotta
they-
worry about nothing out there coming down here.
I mean, I'll probably be dead by the time it gets down here anyway, so I'm not.
There's nothing
but,
out there.
But go on.
So they actually have found life, but it's intelligent life that you're talking about, I think.
okay.
So there are
Like a space
there's
town or
some
something?
sort of water out there. Like it's probably
Oh.
billions of light years away,
Oh.
of which we will probably never ever see. But there are there are those types.
Plants and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's stuff like
It's
that.
just whether or not
Let's-
they're
let's-
intelligent. It could be
But
little
that's why I
microbes.
said there's nothing like us.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, so if we see like space woods or stuff, I was like that okay, I can see. Like that's just nature existing out there. It's probably pristine because there's a Wi-Fi or 3G or shit fucking that up.
Did you
Yeah.
guys hear about the black hole that was discovered like 3 years ago?
Yeah.
It was only 1,000 light years away or so.
Something like that. It
So-
wasn't too far.
It was like randomly, whoever, I don't know what their job title was, but they saw in the sky, right?
Black hole finder.
That's what we call it, the black hole finders. In the sky, you see stars, right? You see, obviously if you can, distant planets, whatever. So they noticed that there's a section in the sky that was dark. That indicates that there's a black hole there. Because a black hole
Yeah.
eats everything around.
It's
So
an
no,
OLED.
no stars,
It's an OLED
no
screen, that's all it
gas,
is.
But
nothing around.
That's 1,000 light years away. We didn't think they were that close. We used to think they were millions of light years away. That's not very far away. And when you think about it, a rogue black hole, I could talk forever about them, about black holes. Is that, they're obviously
That's why I don't walk in front of Pressy. He looks at my black hole.
the
He's
destroyers
like
of
that
life.
rogue black hole right there.
He's like, hey, Christian,
Teach him a lesson.
Yeah, they're destroyers of life, but that's why we need telescopes to see all this stuff. It's
I
it's a
got
dangerous environment up there.
Telescopes are cool. I got one once. I should have got it for myself because I got it from my ex, and she said she always wanted it. And I was like, you'll probably never use it. But she's like, that's not true. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I got it for her. She never used it. So I felt bad. It was a cheap one, but it was entry. It cost me $100, but still.
That's like 78 McChickens.
It's not very good as far as telescope game wise, but
It's
yes.
not $1 no more.
Although it does suck though, because we don't really have stars here because of all the gases.
Fucking pissed me off, Jonathan.
I'm glad I do.
But yeah, man, that was I got to look up more into that. I'll see what they find.
Yeah, they're not gonna find anything but more gases.
Yeah, apparently. That's what I said. He just
Oh, really?
when he told me this, I was so upset. I was like, dude, I don't know.
It looks pretty.
They're like, we found a whole bunch of space farts.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, cause like,
What if that is that?
I forgot who they were interviewing, but they was like, "What's that big fucking pink mist?" He's like, "That is a gas from a star that exploded."
They're like, they can find Waldo, dude.
And I was just like,
Finally.
"Oh, space fart."
It's a space fart.
That could be the living beings over there. That could be them.
Space farts?
Yeah, they could just be like space farts.
Maybe they're looking for all the
what
wrong
is it? A Cartoon
places.
Network show? What is it? There's a princess. She's like a cloud or something, and Adventure Time.
Adventure Time.
Yeah,
okay,
there's like a
dude,
princess
it cost
cloud.
$10 billion
Princess
US dollars.
Fluffy
Jesus.
Space.
I hope it does its job, man. I hope it lets us know if there's something coming.
Yeah.
There is.
Well, but you know what? I hope I'm not alive during that time because at this point, it's a gamble whether it be beneficial or not beneficial to us if we kind of gotten involved with any sort of actually alien life form. Because maybe they'd be dope and super cool and maybe think of the not bad part of our history of Native Americans. Like maybe they actually teach us stuff and we grow, and they don't do stuff like bad things. Or we're gonna be having Star Wars type Halo Covenant battles and shit like that.
I mean, I feel like I'm more terrified of alien intelligent life than ghosts and shit like that.
Dude, I'll tell you.
Like if I ever see a spaceship in the sky, I'm like, oh fuck.
It's because ghosts right now could still be I could still say they're probably bullshit, like right now. But aliens, I can't wholeheartedly say they're bullshit because we do know that there is a fuck out there. Fuck about amount that I don't know.
Nice
about.
word.
That is a word. Yeah, we don't know. Aliens.
Nah.
Chilla, do you want to see aliens or do you not want to see aliens?
I want to see them,
You wanna
but
see them?
I want to see some
Oh, the
evidence.
sexy
I wanna
aliens.
Yeah, I'm trying to see the blue ones.
Alright, let me ask you this. If in the Guardians of the Galaxy scenario, remember how he would you bang an alien?
What? No.
Like Guardians of the Galaxy, that was the lifestyle you could kind of live. Would you guys willingly have sex with alien species?
I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. We got some nasty diseases here.
I don't think I'm there, man.
Alright, okay, let me ask you. If you found out it was clean, you wouldn't get nothing from it.
No.
It was just an experience. You can walk away.
Wait, does he look like Alien from Alien and Predator?
I said it's an alien.
Exactly. What does it look like?
Some of them will be bad. They look like human, but they have pink skin.
Well, actually, I don't know if it matters. There's
or-
dudes that fuck goats here, right?
That's right, dude. We were just talking about that. That's come up 3 days this week about certain areas.
Maybe it's your time.
We were talking about it with the village, because we were like, oh, there's some fucked up cultures out there. They do a bunch of weird shit, they fuck goats. And I was like, I saw a video where they went to it with Vice, and I was like, I didn't know that was a real thing.
Damn.
And
That's pretty nasty.
yeah, because then they found a willing guy who was willing to do it. It turns out it's like sometimes how their kids lose their virginities, which is fucking disgusting.
I
But
think I saw
apparently,
that one.
it's a thing. They're they even asked the women in the village. They're like, so what about this thing? Oh yeah, all these girls are just doing hair for their little girls and stuff. Yeah, they do it all the time. It's just it's a thing boys do.
Boys will be boys.
They said that. They literally said boys will be boys. And then there's a bunch of boys out there playing soccer and they ask them so do you guys know about that? Yeah, we know. And they're like, have you guys ever? And they pick that one kid. He's like, this kid. I was like, no way. That kid was shy. He was no. He's like, I've done it. Yeah. In my head, I couldn't my jaw was dropped during this whole video. I just could not believe it was. And then they went to an adult guy who was willing to do it. So I was like, ugh. But
I'll fuck a goat.
oh wait, is it 4-year-old version? Wait, you want me to fuck a goat, bro? All right, guys.
I think I saw that one.
Yeah, 4-year-old version. Oh, the Vice. Yeah.
The Vice one, yeah.
It
was weird.
It was a good one. All right, Chito, I'll let you end this out for us. But it was real good, man. I think it was good.
Yeah, I think it was a good topic. I think it's something that I've been waiting to talk about. It's for a whole month now.
Shit was weak.
I haven't seen you guys in a month.
Fuck you.
Fuck you all day, kid.
Fuck you. Fuck you, let that go.
Yeah, but thanks everybody for stopping by. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Let us know what you guys think in the comments.
Yeah, definitely.
Or don't.
Or don't. That's cool.
Don't actually.
Don't go.
We are also on Spotify. I don't know if you.
Yes, we are.
If you guys
actually gotta
knew
find
that.
Oh, I gotta post that link on YouTube description too.
Don't tell them our secrets.
Yeah,
What?
so we'll put a link in the description, and if Spotify works out better for you guys, please do listen.
Don't y'all worry about it. We'll give you options.
Send us some donuts.
Yes, dude. Jonathan wants them.
Gracie wants to start an OnlyFans.
I do. Just looking at my toes.
It's nothing but belly button shots.
Ooh, even better. Oh my god! Actually, appealing belly button does. It's weird that does sound appealing to me. Seeing a toned abs with a belly button.
It's the hairy bagel.
Okay, we gotta go. All right,
All right, guys.
I'll talk to you
Thanks for
later.
tuning in.